acclimated with that running back group?
Obviously, it takes some time just really getting to know the guys. I think that's the biggest thing. And, this is day practice 2 right here. The biggest thing just getting to know those guys and kind of figuring out, how they are on the field, how they move, some of the things that need to work on, improve. So just day 2 right here, I've kind of worked those guys out enough to kind of, I feel like I know kind of what the improvements are, what they need to improve on, and kind of what I'm working with in terms of the style of backs that I have.
Now, if you look at the coaching staff, 2 new coordinators
That's right.
coming in, so everybody's kind of getting acclimated with
That's
the
right.
players and coaching staff. So, just how has that been with all these new guys just getting acclimated with each other?
It's been a little hectic. Had to hit the ground running, especially just like you say, learning new offense, new scheme, those things right there. But it's part of it. I've been doing this long enough right now. This isn't the first time I've been a part of new staff changes and everything. So it's definitely a part of it. So.
Coach Dawkins, Evan Barnes, commercial appeal here. What's it like kind of working with this particular group? Obviously, there are a lot of veterans here, so you're coming into an established group. What's it like for you, Darren, to mesh in with the experienced running back group?
Okay, it's really good, actually, because, again, this is my second practice, so I'm still learning. And really and truly, I got to rely on those guys a lot more. And it actually helps in terms of the relationship part because I'm asking a lot of questions, and in return, they're giving me a lot of feedback. And that's a good thing, in my opinion. Having those 2 older guys that actually know the system. Again, I can rely on them. I can lean on them in certain situations right there and continue to help not only develop them, but also help develop the young players who may not know as much. So I think it's a good thing. And again, it just creates dialogue, creates conversation right there so we can really continue to get to know one another, continue to build that relationship. So.
And obviously, Memphis is such a rich tradition with running back. When this position came available, like, was this something you looked at as like, wow, this is, I want to keep this tradition going? Or what did you know about the Memphis running back tradition a little bit?
I know quite a bit about it. And that's one thing obviously that was really intriguing to me. Knowing the history of running backs here and the history of the program, I definitely want to be a part of it. Obviously, being a running back coach and a former running back myself, this is the kind of situation you want to be in. You want to be in an offense that runs the ball. You want to be somewhere who has good tradition at running back. It helps in terms of recruiting. So this is definitely somewhere that I want to be, and I'm excited to continue the tradition.
Now, looking at the depth that this running back group has, I guess, how exciting is that to be able to have this many running back tools at your fingertips to work with?
It's really good. Obviously, it's a long season. Running back is a physical position. We get hit at least 2 to 3 times, probably per play. So you got to have a bunch of guys, and that depth is very important when it comes to football. You can't just have one guy. You have one guy, and something bad happens right there. It changes things. So it's definitely a plus for the Memphis Tigers to have more than one back that we can rely on. Absolutely.
And we just saw you and Coach Banks kind of talking. Is there kind of a connection with you guys in Charlotte or anything? Or?
Absolutely. Banks is a good guy, and he's a guy that I look up to in the profession. He also was a former running back and still is a former running back coach. So I've leaned on Banks, especially when we were at Charlotte. I've asked him a lot of questions just in terms of scheme and how he's coached some things in the past. Banks is a really good coach, and his history is pretty extensive when it comes to football, college, and NFL. So he's a guy that I respect in his profession, and a guy that I lean on.
And then obviously, Coach Cramsey, you guys also are conference USA guys.
That's right.
Was it kind of funny for, looking at this offense, like, okay, Bankins here, but now the coach that I used to go up against in conference USA, was that kind of something to look forward to a little bit?
Absolutely. Definitely got a lot of respect for Coach Cramsey. We played against him twice. The COVID year we did not play, but 19 and 21 right there, we played against each other. And so I'm very familiar with what he does. I remember he had a running back in 19 and I want to say in 20, who was a really good player. I think in 20, his running back Knox led the league in rushing. And last year, he had a running back that led the league in rushing. So he's a guy that I definitely like in terms of he runs the football. So I definitely know what he does offensively and what he's going to bring to the table, man. And I love it. So.
Yeah, I was going to ask, does that help in terms of getting acclimated, knowing that you have an offensive coordinator who you kind of know what kind of makes him tick a little bit? Does that make
It definitely helps in terms of transition. The biggest thing, especially when it comes to this, is really just the terminology. Football is football. I think everybody runs inside zone, right? What are you calling inside zone? So that's the biggest part as far as the learning curve. It's not so much of the scheme. It's what are we calling things? Procedurally, we do things differently in terms of cadence, snap count, how we get signals, all those things right there. Those are procedural things, and that's the biggest learning curve, I think, for me. It's not so much of the scheme.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.